Yo, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Um, this is an exciting day, everybody. For some of us, we get to plan our season out. Some of us, are looking forward to knowing what away games we want to go see. Everybody that's in Raider Nation does not always live in the greater Las Vegas area. A lot of us live all over the country. Some of us live outside of the country. Shout out to Martin from way across the pond. Shout out to Paul Edgerton. Hey man, everybody. We got guys in Australia. We got people in Hawaii. And then you have people in the continental U.S. who live, in places where they want to see the Raiders. So now we get to see when, right? We also get to look at the strength of schedule. We also get to look at some of the matchups today. A little bit later, Graphic and I are going to go over, we're going to break this thing down when everything's official. There have been a lot of leaks. I know you guys seen it. It looks like we're going to be starting our season off with a home game, air quotes. We will be playing the Dischargers in Los Angeles, which to us is a home game. Very, very Raider-friendly crowd there. And then we'll be coming all the way east and playing the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. That is a tough game. Third game of the season. We will be at home in Las Vegas, our first official home game of the season, playing the Carolina Panthers. So, listen, guys, there were a lot of leaks out there. Look, man, get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out on all social media. Share this thing out all over the globe. Wherever you're at, wherever you are. And, yo, I'm trying to get into that Bleacher Report algorithm. Any of y'all big Bleacher Report people, share this live out on Bleacher Report, man. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. And tell a friend to tell a friend like we always do. Let me give my shout-outs and salutations to everybody in the place to be, man. My guy Daniel Caps Keenan is in the place. Matthew Pohl. Graham Cam is in the place, man. Memo Ramirez. Yo, shout out to Graham Cam, man, my dog. Dan High Stakes Teaser. The Get Off My Lawn Gang General. Jeffrey Kieser. Daniel Caps Keenan. Devontae Adams is in here, man. Sarah H. Desert Raider. My dog. Van City Raiders in the place, man. Chris Four Raiders. Red Bone is in here. Anthony, the Miss Nasty B aficionado, is in the place to be, man. Anthony R. Hernandez. Hug D's, the Mod Father, the great and powerful Hug D's is in the place, man. Area 51. The Philippines is in the place, man. LV Maximus. Thank you, LV. Appreciate you, my brother. Dan High Stakes Teaser. I got to say, yo, his name's so nice, I had to say it twice. And look, you know what's going on? We got my guy, Brother Raider. He's been a member for 2 months. Thank you, brother. Go Raiders. Thank you, man. Thank you for being a member, man. Shout out to you. Patrick B is in the place. Nada's in the place. Adonis. So let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Now, right now, the Raiders currently sit with the 7th most miles traveled this season already. It used to be we used to be number 1. We moved out of California. We moved a little bit closer, so now we're 7th. It's not by for lack of trying from the NFL schedule makers, because they have sent us, as far east as you could possibly go. They're sending us to Baltimore. They're sending us to Tampa. They're sending us to Miami. It is nasty work, man. Nasty work, everybody. Nasty work, man. But, look, man, the way I'm looking at this season so far, right? And, we got a new member. Shout out to my guy, Mike Whetstone, man. Became a YouTube member, man. That's the best way to support the channel, my brother. Welcome to the Wasted Talent Army, man. So let's get into it, guys. I'm not going to do too much schedule stuff now because Graphic and I, we have a scheduled show later. It is 7:30 Eastern. We're going to get this one out the way, take a little break, and then we're going to be right back at it. And we're going to go over all of this schedule stuff. But there's other Raider news afoot, and that is why your brother Wasted had to get back at you. Listen, man, we got to get more active as the season is starting to tune in, man. I know you depend on us for this Raider news, and we got to be here for you. And yeah, it's nasty work, bro. It's nasty work, young DB. Our strength of schedule is harder than the Chiefs who won the Super Bowl. And look, strength of schedule is something that you have to take with a grain of sugar and a grain of salt, because strength of schedule is based off of what a team was the previous year, right? We don't know, in our infinite wisdom, how these teams are going to, translate into this year. Some of the teams that were playoff teams this year will not be. There will be teams that weren't playoff teams that will be. There will be people who have catastrophic injuries coming out of camp. Let's pray that it's not us, right? So you really never know who you're going to be playing, especially in what time of the year you're playing. You're only as good as healthy as you are towards the end of the season, right? So strength of schedule, to me, I poo-poo that, right? Now, when you talk about divisional matchups are what they are. They are what they are. We know these teams. Most teams build their rosters to beat the juggernaut of their division. That's how they craft their rosters. I am sure when people sit back and we look at the Raiders as a whole, when you look at what Tom Telesco's done, when you look at what Antonio Pierce has done, they are directly taking a shot at the Kansas City Chiefs. We are positioning ourselves to dethrone them. The only thing that we have not done yet is locate a franchise quarterback. And it's not from lack of trying either, right? And listen, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Locating a franchise quarterback might be the hardest thing to do in professional sports besides hit a fastball or a curveball, right? Let me take a sip of this bomb-ass coffee, man. I'm flying solo. Nobody's home. I'm the only one home. Wifey hasn't come home from work with the kids yet. So I had to get my own coffee today. But as you can see, man, it is a proper cup, and I'm rocking and rolling. Now, one of the big games that I saw, that some of the leaks that were coming out, some people were saying that the Raiders will be playing very, very late in the season, almost damn near the last game of the season. Be playing the New Orleans Saints down in New Orleans. Now, people are saying that is week 17. From what I've heard, the Raiders are actually finishing against the Chargers at home, right? On week, I guess it'll be week 18 because bye weeks and stuff like that. But man, that's going to be a big one, man. Especially if the Raiders are going into the trajectory that I see them going, hunting for a playoff spot. Man, it would be just almost poetic if the Raiders had to go through Carr and the Saints to make the playoffs. Man, that would be insane, man. I think this NFL scheduler makers know what they're doing with that one, man. I think people see us being there at the end of the line, man. I see it happening, man. Shout out to my guy Daniel Caps Keenan for gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses, man. I appreciate you for supporting this channel, my brother. Keeping the lights on over here, man. Thank you so much, brother. And everybody who's ever getting these gifted memberships, please tell the Mob Fathers thank you, because they have been keeping they are the lifeblood of Raider Nation Unlimited. My guy, AR Bowling, support my guy to go to Nation Alum Grab, man. Appreciate you, bro. ARB Bowling is in a place, man. Joey Cheek has been a member for 3 months, man. Shout out to my guy, man. And the fly and wonderful Yvette Niles is in a place that wasted for president. Salute. Shout out to you. Yes, the Saints the weekend before New Year's. Let's go. Let me tell y'all something. Yo, when we talk about games to go to, that is a game right there, boy. If you can get away during the holiday season and you can swing it, man, being down in New Orleans before New Year's, man, that might be must-see TV to watch the Raiders go slam Derek Carr on his back like the jabroni he is. Oh, my God. And Hug D's, the great and powerful. Wasted the livest post in the Bleacher Report. Got you. Appreciate you guys, man. He said, by the way, I still can't gift tour your channel with the, I don't know what the, Hug, you are a moderator, my brother. I don't know what the heck is going on. You are one of the original mod fathers, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Am I coming to La La Land first game of the season? I don't know, Rob. It's the first game of the season, my brother. That's a rough time for me. That's a rough time of like with work, very, very busy time of work. And I think around that time I'll be coming off of a cruise with my family. So I gotta see what I gotta do because I'll just be coming back from vacation too. So you know what I mean. I gotta see what financially I'll be able to swing it, but it's more so a work thing. If I'll be able to get the time off from work to get out there, man. But hey Rob, hit me in the inbox. I haven't even listen. These are leaks. None of this stuff that's coming out is official right now. Let's get into the schedule leaks. You know what I'm saying? Because we're jumping around here. We got to go with what we know so far, right? So let's warm it up. Week 1, Chargers. Week 2, Ravens. Week 3, Carolina Panthers. Week 5 at Denver. Week 6 versus Pittsburgh. Man, that's going to be a big one right there. That's going to be big. That's going to be one of those games where people they might second guess the Raiders brass for not bringing in one of the quarterbacks that wound up in Pittsburgh. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a big one, man. Week 9 at Cincinnati. Big game. We'll probably be seeing a healthy Joe Burrow. We'll probably be seeing the Cincinnati Bengals return to form. They're one of the powerhouse of the AFC. It's a big, big game. Week 12 versus Denver. And week 13, Black Friday, back-to-back divisional matchups. These are games that you got to win versus Kansas City on Black Friday. It's probably going to be a nationally televised game, big game. I have this one red circle. Last year we ruined the Chiefs' Christmas. I would love to ruin their Thanksgiving. Let us pray, right? Week 14 at Tampa Bay. Week 15 versus Atlanta, Monday Night Football. It's a nationally televised game. You can lock that one in. Week 16 versus Jacksonville. I like this stretch of games right here. I like these stretch of games right here because at Tampa Bay, we come back home, play them in our house, play Jacksonville in our house. You know what I'm saying? In Las Vegas. Don't have to really go anywhere. Week 17, New Orleans. So, man, the slate of games, man, that we got and the schedule that we have is one right now that's looking like a daunting one because, when you look at the Raiders schedule and some of the quarterbacks that we have to play, it's a who's who in the National Football League. It is a who's who in the National Football League. You have the best quarterback in the National Football League in Patrick Mahomes. You got to play him twice. One of the guys that's in the big 3 or the big 4, whatever, Justin Herbert, got to play him twice. You got to play the reigning league MVP and Lamar Jackson. You got to go in there and play, Joe Burrow, who is widely considered, if not the best, the second best quarterback in the National Football League. Baker Mayfield has made a resurgence, the former number 1 pick. You're going to be facing either Kirk Cousins or, look, man, the way it's looking, man, maybe Michael Penix Jr. Stranger things have happened, right? And Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars, former number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence. And this is the year that they have to kind of decide what way they're going to go with Trevor Lawrence. This is a big year for Trevor Lawrence. I actually see Trevor Lawrence having a big year if they can protect him and keep him upright and healthy. So this is going to be a very daunting task. Very daunting. And I don't want to poo-poo Bryce Young and, Bo Nix and all of these younger quarterbacks, but they have to kind of prove their mettle. And one big thing about the Raiders, when I look at this schedule, is those kind of games, in years past, the Raiders would drop games like that to teams that were inferior, right? The Carolina Panthers game is a must-have. You got to have it. The Denver games, you got to have it. We have to retain ownership over Denver for the rest of the year. We do, if you want to make it to the playoffs, right? The Jacksonville game, you got to have it. And Jacksonville is a very, very talented football team, but you have to have it. The Atlanta game, you got to have it. You got to have it, man. I'm telling you, man, when you look at what's going on, man, the Raiders, man, we are on a week. This is a week-to-week league. It's no joke. There's no country for old men. The Raiders have a daunting task making it to the playoffs this year, man. And if you've read, an article today, released by Pro Football Focus, John Kosico did not hold back on the Las Vegas Raiders, man, in our quarterback room. He ranked us dead last in the National Football League in the recent column. He is actually going out on a limb and saying that the Raiders have the worst quarterback room in the league. He says, unfortunately for the Raiders, they live in a division dominated by two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. While the division rival Denver Broncos were in contention for this spot, the Raiders did very little to improve the room in 2024. Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell will compete for the starting job, which doesn't spark much excitement from a fan base that has yet to see a legit contender in Las Vegas. Now let me read some of this trash from this guy. So despite the critical take from Kosovo, you know, I sit up here and I look at his take, and I think he did that because it is almost like a stimulus package disrespecting the Raiders. And I don't want to get up on my Raider fandom soapbox, but it's something that I've seen over the years. If you disrespect the Raiders, right, you don't get a lot of pushback from the rest of the football media, right? And what you do is you get a lot of engagement from us Raider fans because we are very staunchly protective of our Raider brethren. We're protective of the brand. We're protective of the shield. We're protective of everything that has to do with this team. So he got exactly what he wanted. But what I will tell you is that is a straw man take. For them to say that we have the worst quarterback room in a league where you have the Denver Broncos quarterback room. You have a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. You have Jarrett Stidham, who has never really set the world on fire. When he was here with us, we liked him, but never set the world on fire. And you have Zach Wilson. That, you have other teams in this league who, make no mistake about it, man. I mean, you got some other teams in this league, man, that don't really, inspire a whole lot of confidence. Bryce Young at this point in his career, Bryce Young is really the currency of hope. We don't know what we have in Bryce Young yet. Bryce Young and how bad that team looks. I think it's pretty ballsy for them to just disrespect the Gardner Minshew and disrespect the Aiden O'Connell, who, to my knowledge, had the second best results of any rookie quarterback not named CJ. He had the best results of any rookie quarterback not named CJ Stroud last year. So I think the Raiders, should take this, file this away, and understand something here, man. Nothing is given, everything's earned, and that's how we like it. But I want them to red circle this, and I want you guys to all remember this, because I'm going to tell you something, man. I've been watching Aiden O'Connell. I've been watching a little stuff from mini camp. The number 12 looks great on him. Watching some throws from Gardner Minshew. This team is not playing around. And a quarterback can only be as good as his skill position players, and a quarterback can only be as good as his protection. And let me tell you something. The Raiders have doubled down on protecting our quarterback. So when you have a big, strong quarterback like a kid like Aiden O'Connell that is tuned in, he's locked in, showing up early, he's leaving late, he's humble, he's willing to learn, he can make all the throws, and you protect that kid and you surround him with a Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Zamir White. I don't see any reason why he can't have a mark of success. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. That is just freaking me. Let me get to some of these super chats, man. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, man. My brother, ARB Bowling with the $2 holler, man. I can see Max F up Carl all day long. I could too, man. I hope that Max T-Bone slams DC on his back. Got effing jabroni, man. My guy Joey Cheek with the $20 holler, man. How beautiful would it be to clinch the division against the Saints and effing DC, man? Oh, my God. Bro, you will not be able to get me to shut up. You won't be able to get me to shut up. And conversely, the people in the nation who were bigger Carr fans than Raider fans won't shut up if he does any damage to our season. So, man, I'm hoping that game doesn't have the ramifications I think it could have at the end of the season, and we have everything kind of locked up. I'm going to be honest with you. My brother, A. Spivey, man, appreciate you for supporting the channel 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships, making the channel and the Wasted Talent Army grow in droves. Let me get back to this chat, man. So, man, what do y'all think about the schedule so far, man? What do you got? So, off of what we've seen, man, my brother, Graphic Raiders in the place to be, man. We got the Las Vegas Aces, February 33rd. We got a chance. God damn it, Graphic. With the Trolley McTroll-a-Lot Award of the damn day, man. Shout out to Graphic. Graphic, you know what? I love that comment, and I'm going to let you go. Oh, Graphic with the masterful troll job. The F out of here. Shout out to my bro Graph, man. Hey, man, look, I'm going to be honest with you. You know who looking like they have a pretty bad quarterback room? You want to get back to that. And we're going to get back to that. And then I got a lot of little JPJ news. The New England Patriots, let me tell y'all something, man. It to me, I don't know if you guys heard their head coach talking about Drake May, but it doesn't seem like he is very confident in Mr. Drake May. And look, I saw Drake May throwing the ball. Man, his windup, that shit looks slow, bro. Yo, he looked like Byron Leftwich throwing the football. He's like gripping the ball and winding it up. Man, he does not look great. Jacoby Brissett might be your starter. He might be your starter, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now, man. There are other teams out there, and I have a lot of faith in Aiden O'Connell. I have a lot of faith in Gardner Minshew. You know why? Because there's not a whole lot that separates these players in the National Football League. But be honest with you, there's not a whole lot to separate these guys. Once they get to the dance, these guys are all super talented guys. Now, look, you have guys that are outliers. You got guys that are freaks of nature, guys like Cam Newton, and, you know, Patrick Mahomes is a freak of nature. You got guys like that. But you have a lot of quarterbacks that are at this point where it's like the preparation and opportunity meets, and then they get success, right? You get a guy like an Aiden O'Connell, you protect a guy like that. If he starts to understand the speed and nuance of the game, this guy's a gamer. This guy can step in here and play some coherent quarterback. Now, am I saying that Aiden O'Connell is going to be Dan Marino? No, I'm not saying that. But, I don't think Aiden O'Connell we can do a lot worse than Aiden O'Connell. And I know that's not sparking confidence in you as a fan base. But I've watched this game a long time. This is not Andrew Walter we have on the center. This kid can be successful in the National Football League, man. My guy, Hug D's. The media will never, ever, ever give the Raiders any flowers. All cold all day. Get used to it. And I love it. And I love it because guess what? When we're successful, how sweet it is. It's that much sweeter when we're successful. We got almost 600 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Everybody who's watching who can hear my voice, who's watching me, yo, if you have not hit that sub button, please go hit the sub button. It costs you nothing, and it helps drive Raider Nation Unlimited in the algorithm. Yo, and also, man, shout out to Woodson Whiskey too, man. My guy, Red Bone. This roster is loaded. AP is tired of the disrespect. The players and the Raider Nation will feel it all this year. The players understand it's time to shut the effing haters up. I hope so, my brother. Red Bone, shout out to you with the fire and brimstone. My brother, Graphic Raider, everyone is bought in. That's all that matters. We gonna win because of it, and I believe so. See, the thing that people don't ever take into account, right? Everybody likes to talk about talent, right? And sports is a lot more than just a collection of talent. We see it in basketball and baseball all the time. We see it in the National Football League all the time. Do you have a team or do you have a collection of talent? The one thing that is evident before one play has been played this season that I see from the Raiders is that they are a team, bro. They're bought in. Everyone's there. Everyone's on the same trajectory. Everyone's on the same page. That right there is probably 60% of the mission to get to playing winning football. When you have people that are bought in, when you have everyone from the owner of the organization to the GM, to the president, down to the coach, the coordinators, down to the players, to the last UDFA on this roster. Everyone is bought in. You cannot say that for every roster and organization in this league. And that is a big, big commodity that we got to look at as fans. Got to look at that. That's huge for us, man. My guy Raider Felon with the $2 holler, man. Bulletin board material. You damn right, man. My brother, Demon Hunter, Jason Hunter, man, with the $5 holler, man. Appreciate you, my brother. A lot of players will be sitting by week 17, getting ready for the playoffs. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I hope it's academic at that point. I hope it's that, and we're not talking about DJ Academic, the Teletubby rap pundit. We are talking about the actual word academic. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Where's my blue wrist? You slip. LV, you're a mod father, bro. I got to go back and fix that, LV. My bad, bro. I'm effing up, man. Effing up here, man. I got to make my brother, man. That is the official security for all the Mount Shivmore shows, man. My brother, Quadre Shamsuddin with the $10 holler, man. Appreciate you for supporting the channel, brother. Salute, soldier. Once you become low-hanging fruit, with years of misery, nothing is out of bounds. They have to change it, period. And yes, this is up to the Raiders to change the narrative around the National Football League. This is up to the Raiders, singularly. And I understand that. And I know they embrace that challenge, right? But I'm going to tell you something, man. I just want to put everyone on notice. I want to go in public, put everybody on notice that you guys will be eating your words this year. And listen, this is not some rah-rah fan shit right here. This is looking at the rosters in this league, man, and looking at the strengths and what the Raiders did to improve this team. They deserve a hell of a lot more respect than they're getting in the national media. I've seen people call Brock Bowers the most talented player in this draft. And then as soon as the Raiders draft him, now all of a sudden it's a terrible pick. I mean, it's nasty work out here in this national media, man. The drive-by media. It is nasty work out here, man. It's nasty work. My brother LV Maximus, thank you, my friend. The war's about to begin. Raiders for life. That's what I'm talking about. Eddie Rodriguez, what you know about Mobb Deep? Are you crazy? Are you outside of your mind, Eddie Rodriguez? What do I know? What do you know about Mobb Deep? Are you crazy? Man, come on, man. Bro, I had their first album, Juvenile Hell. Man, what you mean, bro? Stop it. Yes, bro. What do you know? But look, man, let's get into some Raider news, man. Now, guys, there's been a kid that's been making a lot of noise around camp. Man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Look, man, when you really get down to the get down, man, the Jackson Powers Johnson pickup for the Raiders, man, is going to be one I feel like is going to go down in the annals of Raider history as one of the better picks that we've ever made, man. I mean, this guy has, I've heard rumors out of camp that he has been dominant in Raiders rookie camp. He has been dominant. I like the attitude. I like a lot of the things that he's been saying. Look, I got a quote from him from the other day, man, on the first. He goes, awesome. I'm going to be honest. He goes, I love physicality. I love violence. I think that's how the sport should be played. Putting on just the helmet and getting it going is exciting. Man, he says, look, and they asked him how he felt to play left guard. He goes, I haven't played left guard in a bit, but it's a new challenge. It's exciting. And when you get to step out of your comfort zone and do something that you haven't done as much, it's fun for me. That's what football is all about. That's what life is all about. So, yeah, it's pretty seamless. But there's stuff I need to work on, and that's really exciting for me, man. So, listen, man, Jackson Power Johnson, bro, is putting us in a situation where something that was kind of an iffy positional group, I think you taking that kid and putting him in the mix, with our line kind of solidifies our line. This was something that we wanted addressed in free agency, and I'm glad that the Raiders and Coupon Tom were very, very measured in their approach in free agency. Because what we would have right now is we'd have a collection of talent, right? The Raiders went out there. They spun big on a blue chip free agent. They got what they needed in free agency from what they saw, right? They got a backup quarterback and a possible starter, right? They went out there. They got a stud defensive tackle who's young, who's going to be here for the foreseeable future. They're getting a guy that is on the way up and not on the way down the way we used to. And then they went and they addressed a lot of holes in the draft with high talent. Now, when people talk about the Brock Bowers situation, right? And I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but it's all gonna make sense. I'm gonna go full common sense, the rapper. One day it'll all make sense, right? So when you talk about Jackson Powers Johnson, we're gonna talk about Brock Bowers and how the Brock Bowers pickup at the time, I didn't, look, man, and I told you guys before, I was really dismayed that the Atlanta Falcons moved up and took my guy, Michael Penix Jr. So it didn't matter who they took. The fact that we didn't get a quarterback this year, was something that I was still processing, right? But as I step back and I look at what we did with Brock Bowers, right, and drafting Brock Bowers, drafting a guy of his ilk and his skill set, Brock Bowers to me he's the best college tight end I've seen, man, in probably 8 years. He really is. And a lot of people are saying, well, what about Michael Mayer? But see, the thing about football is you can find a way to get a unique talent on the field no matter what. That is what football is all about. We can go back to the days of Antoine Randall-El. Antoine Randall-El came out of Indiana as a quarterback. The Steelers moved him around, had him under center. They had him, doing a little like a Cordell Stewart thing. They had him lined up, and he became a slot wide receiver, right? Devin Hester was a defensive back, but they found a way to get him incorporated into the defense and the offense, returning kicks. So when you have a player such as a Brock Bowers, right? Brock Bowers, I don't look at him as a traditional tight end. I look at him kind of in the mold of like Frank Wycheck, rest in peace. Frank Wycheck was a guy that they had playing all over the field. They had him playing fullback. They had him playing tight end. They kind of had him playing H-back. And I think Brock Bowers and Michael Mayers are going to be on the field all the time. And it's not just 12 personnel. It's not going to be just 12 personnel. I think that with Brock, they're going to have Brock in his slot. I think Brock Bowers is going to kind of replace some of the responsibilities of Hunter Renfrow. I think we're going to get Brock Bowers in that role. And to me, that's huge because in the last few years, Hunter Renfrow, in the role he was in, became almost a liability to the Raiders. He wasn't a liability all the time, but in the most inopportune times, he turned the football over a lot. People were able to get super physical with him and make him cough the football up. Now, Hunter Renfrow saved our ass a few times. I don't want to disrespect Hunter Renfrow. He's a great Raider. When he comes back one day, I will give him all the praise and all the adulation that he deserves. But Brock Bowers getting some of the touches that Hunter Renfrow got will be super, super impactful for the Raiders. Super impactful. My brother J. Rowe wasted the same people that were cool with drafting another D lineman aren't cool with drafting another tight end. Yeah, make it make sense, right? Shout out to J. Rowe, man. According to Pac, one of them has sickle cell or something. Oh, whoa, easy. Don't ever disrespect Prodigy. Whoa, don't disrespect P. We got over 700 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Our apocalypse is in the place, man. Wasted, my brother. Hope you and yours as well. Everybody's wonderful, man. Everybody's wonderful, brother. Appreciate you, man. My guy Redbone. Gotta love the way this team is being constructed like an old school Raider team. Hard-hitting, nasty, don't give a F football. Run down your throat. Pause. Take shots down the field, talking shit. I love it, man. My guy Van City Raider, man. Wasted. Losing his shit over our first round pick has become my favorite part of draft weekend. Yeah, you know what, man? I do not want to be part of the joke, damn it. Damn you, Van City Raider. Tyler, bro, he said your reaction to the pick was legendary. Y'all are crazy, man. Yeah, but listen, man, look, it took me some time to adjust because, look, man, bro, I'm not some put together fan, bro. I'm a real Raider fan, bro. Yes, I'm a pundit of the Raiders. Yes, I do the work. I do it at a professional level. But I'm going to tell you something. Yo, I'm still a fan first, bro. And I don't shy away from that. Definitely don't, man. My guy, Devontae Adams. Marcel Reese comes to mind for that unique utility player he was. I see Brock filling the same role. Obviously, a bigger name, though. Now, Marcel Reese was a great player, but I think Brock Bowers will fulfill that role probably, to the umpteenth degree because Marcel Reese at his height was great. He was great. One of the best fullbacks we've ever had here, right? And they used to catch the ball down the field. But I think it's a little different because the teams that we have now have so much more talent on the offensive side of the football that you can't key in on Brock Bowers the way that you had to key in on Marcel Reese. There was not a whole lot of talent around when Marcel Reese was pretty much featured in our offense, man. So, man, I hope so, man. Even while Waller was multi-talented in his prime, Brock might be better like Waller. And the thing with Brock Bowers that I hope he's way more durable than Darren Waller. Now, Darren Waller is a freak of nature. Darren Waller was a freak of nature, bro. No one will take that away from Darren Waller. But Darren Waller was not the most durable player in the world, and it didn't seem like he had the. I don't know. He's just one of these guys that seem like he has the world by the balls, and somehow he's. It's almost like, man, a guy that has that much ability, it just never seemed like Darren Waller loved the game. That's from me from the outside looking in. That's my opinion, right? I could be completely wrong, but it just never seemed like Darren Waller was a guy who sold all the way out for the team. It just never seemed that way to me, man. Oh, we get it. But the thing with the Brock Bowers pick was come draft night, there wasn't a world that exists that Browns was going to fall to us at 13. And that's a fact, bro. And you know what? I'm glad that the Raiders changed their mindset. I'm hopeful and I'm thankful that they did that because there's so many years that we look back at these Raider draft class and then we look at the guy that was taken after our pick. And a lot of times the guy becomes a Hall of Famer. And we're like, why didn't we pick such and such? Why didn't he was right there? And I'm going to give you an example. The Jamarcus Russell draft comes to mind because there's a who's who. There's a whole line of guys that are going to the Hall of Fame that were picked after Jamarcus Russell, right? Calvin Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Adrian Peterson, Patrick Willis, Darrell Revis. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous. Marshawn Lynch was taken in that draft. There was so many people taken in that draft that it just makes you sick to your stomach when you think about that draft, right? And look, I understand, Allen, his infinite wisdom, thought that was the guy he was getting his quarterback, he was enamored with him and everything, whatever. But there's so many drafts that we can look back on and be like, damn it, we missed Fabian Watson. Oh, we missed Aaron Rodgers. Like, I did not want that to happen this time, and I'm glad. I don't think we're going to have that. No matter what, no matter how good any of these guys who were taken before our pick, when we look after our pick, they're going to be guys that are going to be great players. That's just the cost of doing business. But I think that we got one of the guys who will translate to being a great player. We got over 750 in the room. Get wasted what your brother wasted. I look crazy, man. Brock Bowers feels like he does. He definitely feels like a guy that will be around. The fly and wonderful Latina Griffith is in a place to be. Where have you been, Latina? Shout out to you. Yes, yes, yes. My brother, Top Beast. Not only do we have two capable tight ends, we have arguably the two top tight ends who are starters. I've never seen anything like that, ever. They're going to be a matchup horror story for the National Football League. I hope so, bro. Listen, man, if we can get shades of Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski without all of the drama, my God. And I'm hoping that if they both can block, oh my God. And it's looking like they can, man. My guy, man. Oh, we got a troll. The Rams will destroy you clowns. Ramilia Sports Report. Let me tell you something, man. That is a lot of tough talk from an Aaron Donald-less, rudderless team. With a Matthew Stafford who was on his last legs. You have come into Raider Nation Unlimited into unfamiliar territory. And if you are not a subscriber and you keep talking the nonsense about the Lambs beating us, you will be unceremoniously blocked, you effing jabroni. So if you come in here again with that nonsense, you will be unceremoniously blocked. And I think we just might have to do it. I think we might have to block him. And I'm not even going to do it. Mod fathers, please get this effing jabroni out of here. Get him out of here. Please. Jabroni blocked. Yes, you have been unceremoniously blocked. The F out of here. Wait a minute. Has he been blocked? Has he been blocked? He needs to be blocked. Effing clown, the F out of my chat. Thank you, Top Beats. Thank you. Talking about the effing Lambs. The F out of here. I've been all serious, and you got to come in here and with your nonsense. The F out of here, you bum. Now, let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it. Now, guys, I sit up here, right, and when we start talking about some of what has gone right about this team, right, some of the reasons why this team is going to play well this year, man. One of the big reasons I think that this team is going to play well is because of Trey Taylor. I think Trey Taylor is going to really push for a lot of time on the field this year. Now, Chris Smith Jr. is a guy who, I expected a lot of last year. There was a lot said about him. But Trey Taylor, man, is a guy who, I'm struggling trying to figure out. I've been watching film on him. Tape Don't Lie did a breakdown on him. Shout out to Marcus and them guys over there, Tape Don't Lie, right? But I'm trying to figure out why this guy went in the 7th round. Now, when you look at Trey, he is a guy who was not surrounded by guys who are going to play in the National Football League, and he still stuck out. I'm watching his tape, and maybe, to the untrained eye, a lot of times, and maybe it's my Raider bias, but I don't see the reason why this kid dropped to the 7th round. I mean, he is an athlete, man, that definitely passes the smell test on tape. Physically, I mean everything. I don't understand it. And then when you look at the award that he won in college, he's a winner of the Jim Thorpe Award, and that's for the nation's best defensive back. And when you read the former winners of the Thorpe Award, it is like a who's who of football. So some of the past winners, we have a past winner on our team in Trayvon Merry, Kobe Bryant from Cincinnati, Grant Delpit from LSU, who I think is going to be a terrific player. DeAndre Baker of Georgia is kind of flaming out with the Giants. But then when we go to 2017, right, Minka Fitzpatrick, Adoree Jackson, Desmond King, Gerard Holliman is, not a who's who kind of guy, but Darkezius Denard, Mo Claiborne, LSU, Patrick Peterson, LSU, Eric Berry, the great Eric Berry from Kansas City Chiefs, Malcolm Jenkins, Aaron Ross, former New York Giant, Michael Huff for the Raiders, Carlos Rogers, 49ers fan, Roy Williams from Oklahoma. I mean, Tyrone Carter had a pretty good NFL career. Antoine Winfield in 1998. 1997, you guys might know this guy, Charles Woodson, former Jim Thorpe Award winner. Antonio Langham, drafted by the Browns, terrific player out of Alabama, won national championship with Alabama. Deion Figures, baller. Terrell Buckley, T-Buck was very underrated. Baller, man. Mark Carrier, baller. Deion Sanders, baller. I mean, it don't get no more balling than Deion Sanders. Benny Blades out of Miami. And the inaugural winner, Thomas Everett from Baylor. So, listen, man, a lot of times, this reasons a who's who in defensive backdom. This kid won that award, and he got drafted in round 7, and it's just something that I'm struggling with. And when I look at his tape, I'm looking at the kid, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy can really push Marcus Epps for his position. He really can. I mean, is there anything that you guys see? There's no reason why, this kid really could come. And this is not smoke. This is a conjecture. I can see this kid coming in day one and raising and elevating that room right off the rip. Michael Huff wasn't a bust, man. Michael Huff was a very talented player, man. You got to understand something, man. People, places, and things, man. Michael Huff was a guy who was in a bad situation. This team was on the way down. Al Davis was losing touch with reality, and he was getting older. I don't call Michael Huff a bust. The F out of here with that. The F out of here, man. Jim Thorpe Award winner. I heard some teams may not have done their research into this draft. I think so. I think one thing about this draft and what it'll tell you is in normal drafts, a kid like this would have gone probably in the 3rd or 4th round. I just think that this draft, and one of the reasons why he went in the 7th, is positional value, right? This was a heavy lineman draft. If you wanted to shore up your trenches, you got to in real time in this draft. It was a lot of players, right? So this was just a very, very talented draft. You know, we had 6 quarterbacks taken in the 1st round. Like, this is a very, very, very talented draft. And that run on quarterbacks kind of pushed down everything else. You had a lot of wide receivers taken. You had a lot of linemen taken, right? So it kind of pushed things back. And there were a lot of people who don't value safety the way they once did. But bang, zoom. Brave Raider, wasted. What's good, brother? I can see us being 11-6 or 10-7. I can see that too, man. I can see that too. My guy, Lawrence Timothy Travis. Epps got to pick it up. Now, listen, this is no indictment on Epps. Marcus Epps has played well for the Raiders, man. Marcus Epps has played well for the Raiders, bro. I don't know why Marcus Epps has to pick it up, man. I mean, Marcus Epps had 41 tackles last year. 41 tackles. Marcus Epps played well for us, man. Marcus Epps was a force up at the line of scrimmage as well, too. I don't see why Marcus Epps is a guy that you have red circled to have to supposedly pick it up. I think Marcus Epps did a great job for the Raiders, man. I mean, what about you guys? I think Marcus Epps did a great job. He had 41 tackles last year. Very, very efficient. I mean, was Marcus Epps a world beater? No, but Marcus Epps played well for us. He definitely wasn't a problem for us, man. My guy, Freight Train, appreciate you, man. Still not sold on our linebacker core. Is there any free agents worth looking at? Now, Access, this is the thing, bro. Are they really? You know, you got to look at our linebacking core. Now, when you get a guy like Robert Spillane, and I don't know if you guys, saw Robert Spillane on the Rush podcast, but I love his attitude. I love his approach, and I really, really love the fact that he's a leader. And you see Tommy Eichenberg, man, in Luke Masterson. And then you get a guy like a Divine Diablo, who is very, very physically talented. He's a good chase down linebacker. He makes a lot of plays in the open field. The only thing about Divine Diablo is I don't see him make enough plays in the backfield. I will hope Divine Diablo can get better this year and in that. But Robert Spillane was sniffing things out all year. And then when you got Eichenberg coming into camp and having a guy like an Antonio Pierce who said in his press conference a few days ago that Eichenberg is coming in, he's the green dot. That, as a rookie, that goes to show you everything you need to know. This is the one thing you're not going to have to worry about this year. Do not worry about this line. But this linebacking core is this linebacking core is solid. This linebacking core is solid. The only guy in this linebacking core that I have red circle who probably needs to step it up a little bit is Divine Diablo. Now, Divine Diablo is one of these guys where he is a PFF darling. He's a PFF darling, right? But when you watch him on film, you watch some of the tackles he misses and some of the games he misses, things like that. That is really where, you get the context of what kind of player Divine Deablo is. Now, I am not trying to, crap all over Divine Deablo, but the Divine Deablo, for the amount of ability that he has, could be a star. Divine Deablo is 6'3", 223, fast as lightning, man. Guy had 55 solo tackles last year. He had a sack last year. But Divine Deablo is a guy where game in and game out, you can see Divine Deablo having those games where 6 tackles, 7 tackles, 6 tackles, 7 tackles, a bunch of solo tackles, combined tackles, like he's a guy who's in the mix, but it's a lot of times Divine Deablo is making a lot of his plays downfield because the play is getting behind him and he's so physically talented and fast. He's a chase down tackler. I want to see Divine Deablo make some more plays behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's okay, but Divine Deablo can be a lot better than okay. I think Divine Deablo has the physical capabilities to be a lot more than just okay. He really can, man. And I would like to see Divine Deablo at the beginning of the season last year was playing great. Unfortunately, listen, got dinged up a little bit, but Divine Deablo's a guy who was used to playing safety in college. When you got guys that play safety, people just expect for them to be great cover linebackers just because they play defensive back, and they don't look at the skill set it took for them to play safety a lot of times. A lot of times, they're seeing the entire field and coming downhill a lot of the times. But I'm hoping that Divine Deablo could step his game up and mature into the player I feel like he could be. So I say that to say that if Divine Deablo is the guy that you have red circle to kind of make an ascension in this linebacking core, and you have a pretty damn good linebacking core. When you have a Lucas Masterson who has played well for us. When you have a Lucas Masterson who's played well for us sitting on the bench or playing special teams, and then you have a young Amari Burney who's very, very physically talented, this linebacker core is okay. I don't think this linebacking core has to go out there and sign anybody. Our defense is starting out ranked 8th. Now, we got almost 800 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Wes Williams, who's going to piss, who's going to be pissed when he comes to our stadium? It will be MP Jr. Fuck, I could have been a Raider and be playing here. Maybe. Michael, he might, but it is what it is. He is where he's at. I'm sure he's going to like it in the A. Masterson and Eckerberg are right there waiting on Deablo to slip. He has to be on his game and stay healthy or it's a wrap. I mean, look, man. Tommy Eichenberg and Divine Deablo can be on the field at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, Eichenberg's a guy who's going to be almost an every down linebacker. I really do. I think this kid is very, very talented. And I don't want to, inject too much hopium into the nation. But based off of the kind of player he's been at Ohio State and the way that Antonio Pierce views him, you can already see that right now, right? Let's go through preseason. Let's see how he plays, see if he makes it and everything. But I have Eichenberg red circled as a guy who's probably going to get the usage rate of a Robert Spillane. Hug D's. Our D-line will make our linebackers better, make our cornerbacks and safeties. I think about it. Every step down the field takes more time. Our defense will be 100% special this year. I hope so, man. My guy, Jack Burton, you already know. Bing bong. Shout out. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's go finish it out, man. We got over 800 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I know all 800 of you are not subscribed. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We got to get this channel over 20 bands. That is the metric. We got to get this channel over 20 bands. I need y'all help. Nation, I need y'all to help me. I need y'all to get me to 20,000, bro. Get me to 20,000. We need it. Rated Nation, today's goal is 50 new subs, 400 likes, 600 in the chat, only 250 likes. Please pay your bar tabs. Are you guys drinking without paying your bar tabs? Get wasted. What the F is going on? That's right. Pay your bar tabs. Let's go. My brother, Hug D's mod father extraordinaire, man. Mod father extraordinaire. So, let's get into it, and we're going to get out of here. Hug D said, click it or ticket. You're damn real, man. So look, man, we're gonna get into a few more things, man, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. Now we talked about the line. We talked about, our young rookie. We talked about our quarterback room getting ripped into. The one thing that we have not touched on today is, and we're gonna touch on the we start talking about the schedule. That's a show with graphic. We are gonna break this down in the AFC West. To folks, man. So let's talk about our secondary. And this is the thing. One thing I wanted to talk about before we go. Somebody asked a question today on Graphic Show, and I heard it, and it made me think. Somebody asked, who do you think a player that's on this roster now that might not make this roster, right? Now, the usual suspects is, like Brandon Faison, guys like that, right? Who do you think might not make the roster? And I sit up here and I wonder, man, and I'm like, damn, this roster, when you start looking at it, you're like, all of these guys, man, it's not somebody on this roster that I look at and I'm like, damn, I think he's going to get cut. But I'm going to tell you somebody that we brought in free agency who I think is going to have an uphill battle making his roster because of some of the young talent behind him. And because of the way he played last year when he got a starting role, is Alexander Mattison. Now, I know people are like, wasted, you're crazy. They went out there in free agency and signed him. But they didn't pay him a whole lot of money, right? Zamir White is going to be the incumbent starter. He's going to get that role. But you have Sincere McCormick, you have Britton Brown, right? And you have a situation with the Raiders where I could see Mattison being a guy, man, who could be put on notice. I could see one of these young guys pushing him off this roster. I have a lot of faith in Zamir White. I think Zamir White, when you start looking at the second-year players who are going to take an ascension this year, Tyree Wilson, definitely. I've seen Tyree Wilson, with Max Crosby. I love it. He's been attached to the hip with Max Crosby. Some of the stuff I've been seeing coming out of camp, Tyree Wilson is looking great, man. I hope he makes me eat my words because I wasn't happy that we drafted him, right? But I hope Tyree Wilson makes a guy like Malcolm Kuntz, he makes that decision easy at the end of the season. I really do. I hope that Tyree Wilson makes his ascension and lives up to his seventh overall pick status. I hope he's a kid who's here for a long time, and we got to give him a back up the Brinks truck for him. You know what I mean? I'm praying that, because if you get a Tyree Wilson with a Max Crosby together, man, then that means that you have a situation that is very, very lethal. That means that you have a Neil Smith, Derek Thomas kind of situation. That's a beautiful, beautiful situation, right? So when I look at it, Mattison's a guy, him and Brandon Faison are two veterans that I see that have got to play well, because they have a lot of guys in their positional group who have that unknown commodity, and they're going to get a chance in real time to earn their roster spot. I'm telling you right now, they're going to get a chance to. So I'm telling you right now, Mattison's a guy, he had a problem holding on to the football as his usage rate increased. Now, Mattison's been a guy who has always been a backup to Dalvin Cook, right? And last year, he did pretty well, but he had a fumbling problem last year. And the one thing that won't be tolerated on this team, and this is the one thing that I've seen with Antonio Pierce, and one of the reasons why I have a lot of faith in Antonio Pierce, even though when you look at it on paper, he is the least accomplished coach in the AFC West, because you have former Super Bowl winners here. You have Sean Payton, won a Super Bowl. He's been, one of those coaches where people have given him a lot of praise and lauded him over the years. Andy Reid, the best coach in the National Football League. Let's make no mistake about that. And then you have a Jim Harbaugh, who is one of the best coaches in the world. Jim, you can't take it away from him. You can't take it away from him. And the reason why I think Antonio Pierce is going to pass the smell test, is going to fit right in there and shake things up in his division, is because he has the Raiders playing old school, mistake-free, hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. And this is something that other teams in the National Football League are getting away from. Everybody wants to have the next best offense. Everybody wants to have that Mike McDaniels offense. The Kyle Shanahan, the flash, and the pomp and the circumstance. But let me tell you something. Defense, running game, hard-nosed football is what wins games ultimately in the National Football League. This is what really wins in the National Football League. Yes, it's great to have these great offenses. It's great to score a lot of points in the middle of the season. It's great. But when it gets cold outside, and when you got to have it, you got to go on the road. You got to go bust Buffalo in the mouth. What do you need? You need the things that travel with you. And that is a defense. That is a hard-nosed running game. And that is mistake-free football. We know who we are. See, the main thing about turning an organization around, and if I can get on my soapbox for a little bit, everybody gather around the fire. Wasted is on his soapbox right now. The one thing that a team has to have first and foremost is an identity. The thing that the Raiders have lacked for a long time is an identity. And if you look and you harken back, because a lot of us, we love this, right? We love the history of this team. Some of you guys have never seen this team really win. You know, I was fortunate to see this team win. But when you look back, there's a thumbprint on each one of those old school Raiders teams. And it's because the guy at the top of the organization had a philosophy on football. And you saw that in real time in every incantation of the Raiders. That was a good one. Al Davis was into physical dominance, dominating teams, inside out, throw the ball deep, speed, right? The thing about the Raiders over the years is we go from one ideology to the next because we don't keep a coach around long enough. We don't keep a front office around long enough. So then you have the next guy coming in with a bunch of players that don't fit. And then he's trying to get rid of the guys that he didn't want from the last, organization in the last shift in the organization. And by the time he starts building up, they're getting rid of the guy. And what we never had was a real identity. This team, in a very, very short time, has an identity. That identity is something that is hard to beat in this National Football League. Mistake-free, smash-mouth, old-school football. I'm telling you something, man. And if you look at it, you look at teams like the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a team that a lot of people give a lot of praise to. You see the shiny names. You see the Tyreek Hills, Odell Beckham Jr., and all of this. Jalen Waddle, and they doing a little Waddle dance. Raheem Mostert. But guess what? When it gets cold, it's 15 degrees outside. You know what happens to the Dolphins? They get busted in their mouth. And they look rudderless. They look sorry because it's a soft, flashy football team. That's all they are. It's all pomp and circumstance. And the Raiders, the way we're built, we win games where our quarterback doesn't complete a pass for 2 quarters against the class of the National Football League. This is what kind of team we're building. And that's the mentality that you need to win in this league. Telling you right now, man, my guy Clippy. That's why when the Chiefs played the Dolphins in London, I knew it was going to be a low scoring because both offenses ain't traveling to the UK. That's right, bro. And my only spot in week 1, it's not the QB. It's corner opposite of JJ. Other than that, we're good. I'll be honest with you, man. I see Jacorian Bennett, and I notice you guys might think there's a lot of hope here. Jacorian Bennett last year, athletically, when you watched him pass the smell test, to stay with anybody. The thing with Jacorian Bennett was he needed the nuance of how to play, DB at the National Football League level, how to get away with the holds and stuff like that. He needed that seasoning. Think you're going to see a much better Jacorian Bennett. So when I look at the upcoming season, the guys I have red circled to take this team, if we're going to make the playoffs to the next level, Jacorian Bennett is right there at the top. Samir White, Tyree Wilson. These 3 players need to pay dividends. And a third-year player that needs to take that ascension to who we think he could be is Dylan Parham at right guard. Dylan Parham and also Thayer Mumford. That side of the line is really what's going to seal the deal for this team. That's if you look at it, young players, man, this is what we've all been waiting for. And this is what I want you guys to stay focused on. We've been waiting for the Raiders to not bring in retreads. We've been waiting for the Raiders to draft young, develop talent. Now they're doing it, and a lot of us in Raider Nation are getting impatient. Can't have that. We need to allow these guys to cook. We need to allow them to cook. We need to allow these guys to develop. Guys on rookie deals. Let me tell you something. When it comes to players in the National Football League, you get the best of that player most of the time in their first contract. This is the reason why draft picks are so valuable in the National Football League, ladies and gents. My guy Hug D's with the $2 holler, wasted at the pulpit, speaking to the congregation. Preach, my brother. Thank you. My guy, DC Raider Rich, making the Raider Nation Unlimited Army grow in droves, man. Gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships. Everybody who got a free membership, man, please thank the guys, thank these mods who are doing this, man. Thank these members who are gifting this, man. Please thank these guys, man. Appreciate you guys for making this channel grow in droves. Marcella Brown, the Flying Wonderful. Yes, physical dominance. That's how I was, and I pray we're rediscovering our identity. We have a rich history. Been a Raider girl since the late 60s, and I'm stoked for the new season. Thank you, Marcella Brown. Thank you. Appreciate you for pulling up and supporting the channel. Sarah H. Wasted taking us to church today. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all are crazy, man. But y'all, listen, man. I think it's time for us to bring the train back into the station, because guess what? My brother Graf and I are going live in another 30 minutes, guys. I'm going to get off the air, man. You guys have a terrific night. We will be back at you guys. We're going to talk more about this season. We're going to talk more about the upcoming season, guys. We're going to talk more about the upcoming season. We're going to talk about the schedule. The schedule is going to be official. We are coming to you live. So whoever's in my room now, we're going to take a 30-minute intermission. We will be back rocking live with you. And Raider Ryan gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to everybody, man. Appreciate you guys for pulling up. Appreciate everybody for watching, man. Wait a minute. Dan Teaser just reminded me, before we get out of here, the wasted word of the day, man. The wasted word of the day. And you know what, man? Intractability. I don't think that's the wasted word of the day. I don't think so. It's not it. Proficiency. The state of being proficient. Skill and expertness. Proficiency is the wasted word of the day. Your brother Wasted is in here talking to you about football with a level of proficiency unmatched. Guys, listen, on the way out, do me a favor. Hit that sub. Hit that subscription. Raider Nation Unlimited. We are out of here. Yo, we'll be back at 7:30, man. Love all of y'all. Peace, man. And y'all already know something, man. Yesterday's price is not today's price. But guess what? I'm not going to play it because we're not done for the day, man. You guys have a terrific night, man. Peace.